Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. My name is Donnie Reese, and tonight we record episode 122 of the Nintendo Shack podcast on this day, Pokemon Day 2020. I hope all you trainers are out there getting it. Before we begin, I'd like to thank all of those that support us at patreon.com/PSVG. So thank you, Callow, Barry Cathcart, Josh, the Bonesaw Borboni, Coach Mo, Chris McElfresh, Devin Tyus, Kyle Heyman, Paul Calicote, Michael Masick, and the Egg Shin, Zach Bradshaw. Tonight marks a special occasion. I'm rejoined by the one Nintensis, Miss Caroline. How has life been? You've had all this free time. You're not podcasting. I mean, you're. What are you doing? You the last time we spoke, you were going to paint more. You said that you were going to play more games, and obviously you're doing all of these things, right? Like, have you taken vacations? You're seeing the world. Did you get to Japan?
No, not with this coronavirus thing going around. Brian and I are getting ready to batten down the hatches and like stay in the house for 3 weeks because apparently this thing's about to come to the United States, and it already has. And patient zero is probably in Atlanta, is what they're saying now.
I mean,
so
there are gun clubs with like 4,000% more members than coronavirus. It's not.
I'm aware of that, but at this, and the flu is way more deadly than this. But if people are going to shut down, I'm going to take advantage of everything shutting down because I love being in my house.
I wonder, is it, and I mean, I don't want to derail into this at all. I'm talking to Public Health tomorrow, and I'm very interested to hear what they have to say. I wonder is this like happening in other industries, or is it just like a gaming convention only thing? Like, I know there are all kinds of conventions. There's like movie conventions, there's horror conventions. There's got to be all kinds of conventions. Are they all closing too, or is it strictly video games?
Well, because the video game industry is still so heavily influenced by the Japanese, and I think that it's hitting harder in Asia right now. That's probably why everything's kind of on lockdown with airlines. I was reading a statistic on how much money Delta has lost because of all the flights that are not going in and out of China. And it just blew my mind. They're basically hemorrhaging money. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's just something, it's something that I think is more of a scare at this point. But then again, one of Brian's coworkers did say that she has a friend that works at the CDC here in Atlanta and said that they don't normally send out emails like that unless it's a legit thing. So
to answer your question, Donnie, I work in the automotive industry, and the suppliers there, a lot of them are in China. And so all day long for the past 2 weeks, it's been phone calls with, no, we can't get that to you because China shut down because of the coronavirus. So it's not just video games, but at least automotive industries
my enamel
being pretty
pens
affected by it too.
My enamel pens are all produced in China, and everybody that I get an enamel pen, all these artists that I get enamel pens from, I've been expecting some since January that still aren't here because they've shut down the factories. So it's pretty much everything in China is shut down right now. And I think the Prime Minister of Japan shut down all the schools. That's what I heard.
Jeez.
So I've been planning. I've been on planning teams preparing for a situation, an event like this, my entire career, 10, 12 years. I know quite a bit about it, at least when it comes to mass prophylaxis and kind of the CDC's readiness to distribute things and how it would be done and pods and all the buzz terms. And I can tell you in all of my years, the planning to engage any sort of mass messaging and media and things like that were numbers far, far greater than this. And it's very interesting because it was on all these years, it was like, well, we'll enact this at this threshold and this threshold and this threshold. And so far, this threshold is like
I think
a tenth of that. And people are like, oh my God, run for your lives.
I think definitely we're in the age of social media. The last time this happened was SARS back in 2003. And I remember some of that, and we studied it in school. But I don't think, obviously we didn't have social media. We probably had AIM Instant Messenger. That was about it.
So even like swine flu happened. It wasn't that long ago.
I know.
We had the internet. I don't know. I'm not saying that it's not cause for concern. I'm not trying to make light of a situation. I'm just from all of my education and everything like that, it just seems to be like I don't want to say catching people off guard. The reaction seems to be more than the people that deal with this on a daily basis were planning for. That's the only thing I'm trying to say.
We live in a day and age where everybody's afraid of a zombie apocalypse. So what else did you expect?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to introduce that dulcet tone over there as Steven, one Zenith, aka Hero Shade.
Hero Shade.
Maybe he's going to change his Discord tag again. Next week, what is it going to be?
I've only changed it once. I only changed it the one time, so I just wanted something shorter, and yeah.
Welcome to the Shack, man. How are you doing?
Dude.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm doing really good. Enjoying a week off of school, which is great.
They closed down for coronavirus?
No, it's they call it winter break, but it's spring break for us. But
sure.
Who knows? Maybe with all the hubbub going on, we'll end up shutting down for coronavirus too. I wouldn't be upset with that.
It might.
So.
Okay, so you joined because you reached out saying, "Hey, if you're looking for folks, I'm interested in joining the Nintendo Shack," and I got I was tweeting all about it, and I was telling all of our friends, like, "Hey, man, all these people they want to join. I'm gonna have to tell all these shows," and I told you last week that I think we had like 14 or 15 people reach out, and
crazy.
It was crazy.
Come on, y'all.
That first week.
Come on, y'all.
And
You guys are just too popular. Everyone wants to hang out with you.
The thing
I felt
is,
bad for a while. I was like, dang. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have given up my seat.
well, your seat is enshrined. Your seat is forever.
You always have a seat.
That's right.
I was just.
I'm gonna do like the Joker thing, like in the Batman movie. I'm just gonna push Steven's cam off the screen.
No, I'm fine.
But the cool thing about it was, I reached out to a couple people, and then I had a handful of people reach out to me, which I didn't expect. And Steven was one of those folks that reached out to me that I wasn't anticipating, which is why I put out the raise the banner anyway. It's why I raised the spotlight. I wanted to see what happened. Steven was about of a group of like 6 or 8 that were like, I'd love to do it. Some of those folks already had podcasts. Some of them were wanting to get into podcast. And out of those people, he's the only one that made it to the show. Week by week, as I asked for questions and I started asking about equipment and I started asking more importantly about commitment and like this, I gave it some thought. I talked about it with my wife. I don't think so. And it just, here we are. You're the last of us. Steven, you're the last one. So congratulations for making it this far.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Awesome, dude.
Or as
Donnie's
Kevin might say, get out now. You've come too far already.
Run.
Donnie's very nitpicky about things, so I would definitely say that it's a good achievement that you're here.
Oh, thanks, Caro.
Yeah,
I have a vision for what I want the show to be.
he does.
Yeah. All right, so you have to answer some questions. New host questions. These are the same questions. So, Steven, tell us, what is your history with Nintendo? What console did you start with? What makes you love Nintendo today?
Well, I have been a fan of Nintendo as long as I can remember. In fact, one of the earliest, if not the earliest memory I have is sitting on my dad's lap playing Mega Man X on the SNES.
Nice.
And I remember we'd have a bunch of those Post-it notes all over next to it that had all the passwords for Mega Man X that you had to enter in, so I could just hop into whatever stage I wanted to play, because obviously I couldn't beat the game that young. But it was a lot of fun, and I played a lot of so Mega Man X, Castlevania, Super Mario. Had a great time with the SNES, but I was young, I was casual with it. I don't think I really got really into Nintendo and video games until the N64 and Ocarina of Time, and that, like most people, just was a eye-opening experience that I'd never had before, and just got into my heart in a way that Zelda's become my favorite franchise ever, and I have to play every single game, and it's a personal achievement for me to beat each one. And ever since then, it's been every Nintendo console, every game. Love Zelda, love Metroid. Smash is a big one. Fire Emblem's become a big one for me. So yeah, it's been a lot of my whole life being a Nintendo fan, and it's a great thing. The only one that I really didn't get into was the Wii U, and that was a little bit because I was a poor, starving college student and didn't have the funds for it, and it didn't have quite the appeal that some of the others from a casual standpoint. But everything else, I've been there day one pretty much, and been a big fan as long as I can remember.
More importantly, from Kevin, why would you want to subject yourself to this?
Well, you see, Kevin, you bring so much negativity. I just felt like I needed to bring some positivity.
Oh my
No,
God.
I'm kidding, Kevin.
Slam! Just comes in
No,
with a
it-
rock bottom right out of the get-go. It's like, listen here, Kevin. I've been meaning to tell you
Man.
this for a long time.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get out of here quick as fast as I came in here. Jeez.
No, in all seriousness, I got into podcasts back when the TV show Lost was a big thing, and I was listening to it. I think it was called the Lost Podcast with Jay and Jack, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever at the time. It was when podcasts were becoming a big thing, and ever since then, I've always really, really wanted to be on one. And my friends and I tried to do a video one back in high school, and it was really dumb, and we had no purpose and no subject. And we posted it on iTunes, and I don't know if it still exists on the internet. I kind of hope not, because that would be really embarrassing. But it's been a dream of mine to, do a little bit of podcasting. So that's why I would subject myself to something like this.
Very cool. Very cool.
You have a radio voice, like, big time, too, I just have to say.
Oh, thanks. That's actually something that people have told me a lot. I told Donnie when I told him I was interested in coming on that I did a little bit of radio when I was in college. I had my own little weekly radio show, so have a little bit of experience, but this is basically my very first podcast.
Now I have to ask. Tell me about your radio show in college.
Oh man, it was nothing special. Mostly it was 2 hours where I would play a variety of classic rock, Led Zeppelin, Def Leppard, Van Halen, and then I'd put in little news segments where I'd cover maybe the latest sports updates or news going up around campus.
No conspiracy theories about the school or anything like that?
I should have.
Let's rally the troops.
I was
overtake the cafeteria.
I was more focused on just let's do music and news and let's not venture out into anything too crazy. So nowadays it might be more fun to get into that. But yeah,
Company
I wasn't quite
man.
ready for it.
Company man.
Awesome.
Dean is like, that's a good radio host. I like him over there.
My wife just texted me. She's like, you got to tell him that your tagline was "Rock with the Doc." Everyone would call me Dr. Proctor. So my tagline was "Come rock with the Doc" at 6 o'clock.
That's so cute. I love it.
That's really, really good. That's really, really good. Okay. Well, thank you, Stephen, for going through all of this, for all the DMs, for all the messages and making here. And thanks for coming on the Shack this week, man. It's much appreciated.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's get into this week in Nintendo, and let's start with today's news. Today is Pokemon Day. So today marks the 24th anniversary of Pokemon Red and Green releasing in Japan, right?
Yes.
I think that's how it is. Yeah. It's the official release. Today marks the official release of the Pokemon movie Mewtwo Strikes Back, the remake, Evolution, I think it's called. It's in Netflix. And
that came out today.
Yeah,
Really?
It's out today.
I didn't know that.
I'm still
I'll
not.
check that out later.
You guys know the one I'm talking about. Like you've seen the comparisons.
This is a 3D one, right? This is
Yeah.
a 3D remake, yeah.
Is it just like an enhancement of the original one?
No.
They made 3D models of all the characters, and
Yeah.
it's basically the original movie with 3D.
But like Toy Story. Kind
Yeah.
of.
That was
Yeah,
that was
kind
one of
of.
my favorite movies growing up.
I mean, I love the movie. I'm gonna watch it, so I'm not trying to prejudge it. But just side by side, I prefer the old style. Like still, like even when I watch it, I'm like, I don't know about this.
Wasn't this the movie that had the Pikachu vacation thing in the beginning? Was that one?
That might have been the next one.
Was it
like
the
Pokemon
movie
2000?
Yeah.
I think
Because
the
one of
Pikachu
them
was
just so insanely short that they had to put the whole vacation thing in the beginning in order to make it like a 90-minute film.
I love the vacation. They swing on the swings. And
I know it's really cute.
yeah,
but
and
what
they
I'm
got the
saying-
vacation song going.
Yeah, it's
what I'm
it's
saying
adorable.
is the movie that it came with was ridiculously short.
Speaking of Mewtwo, he's now appearing in max raid battles in Sword and Shield for a limited time. This marks the first legendary Pokemon to appear in a max raid battle, but it's so powerful, level 100, all max stats, that you cannot catch it. It's impossible. They've said it. I'm still seeing
Beat it.
folks on Twitter like, we'll see.
Pretty sure they code that in there that it's impossible.
There's
but
enough hackers out there. They might be
Unless
able to
there's a
figure it out.
0.0001% chance.
He does drop some really sweet loot, all kinds of orbs and stuff that I quit caring about when they put them in Pokemon games. So go read Rebecca's blog. she breaks it all down. The Kanto starters are also appearing in raids in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and so go out there, get your Charmander, your Bulbasaur, and your Squirtle. Jack lost his mind last night because I told him, I was reading the blog, and I was like, it says it starts the 27th. I was like, so it won't be there tomorrow. He's like, I'm going to go check. And it was available last night. He was out there. He's already got a Blastoise, and he's trying to get another one, and I was like, catch me some. He's like my little farm. I'm just like, hey,
I was about to say, it's just like, just tell him to go do it and he'll do it.
Exactly. Like, hey, go catch this for me and then trade. And I don't even trade it to him. He's like, all right, I got it. And I just hand him my Switch. I'm like, just go put it in the box. Just here, take the second Switch. He just wants a reason to keep playing, which is
new
really,
age
really
gaming
cool.
right there.
Yes. A new mythical Pokemon has been revealed. Zarude, the rogue monkey Pokemon, is out. The mythical monkey to Sword and Shield. What do you guys think about this one?
It is
Monkey seems
ugly.
odd. I thought it was supposed to be a werewolf based on the silhouette, which I felt matched the England
would've
setting
worked.
better. But monkey, I don't know. I don't know if there's a connection
Weird
to
about Grookey
English setting and monkey.
and its evolutions, and it's almost the same color scheme. Why did we need this?
And they even have them like battle in the little premiere.
Yeah, I
video, and
saw
was like,
that.
they look like they look the same. Yeah.
I said it looked like a cross between Rillaboom and Incineroar. Like, there's your dark and there's your grass type. It literally looks like an Incineroar almost.
I've
Yeah,
said
there's
my
some
piece
similarities there.
I've said my piece about the modern Pokemon design. I haven't seen too many that have really caught my attention.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
like I was saying in chat earlier today, I miss when my mythicals were really cute, like Mew and Celebi and Jirachi.
I feel like
And now we have weird things.
Yeah. they're all like yokai or
Ever since, I think Darkrai was probably the last one that I actually really enjoyed.
not yokai, Digimon. They all look like Digimon.
Yeah, they are kind of Digimon-esque.
Yeah,
now.
like all of them. Like it's like they just went that way, and like they used to be very different. Like I said, Pokemon used to have like the cute chibi like look, and like now it's they all just Digimon, and it's not my thing.
Yeah, I don't mind the occasional Pokemon that has that look, but yeah, I think it lacks some of the magic that the original ones had.
Yeah.
Yep.
And most notably, Greninja has been named the Pokemon of the Year from the Google fan voting.
Greninja?
Greninja.
Really?
Yeah.
Who voted for that? Was that one that we all voted on?
Yeah.
I didn't even know this thing was a thing
Yeah, you
until
voted
today.
on like your favorite from each generation,
Yeah.
and then they overall Greninja.
I saw the top 10
skimmed
list.
through the list.
It was pretty basic. Like Cubone and Marowak did not make the list. Gengar was up there. Like, you know, like some of the ones you would expect, you know.
Charizard made it. Lucario.
The Smash characters. Basically, the Smash characters.
That might be it. Yeah.
They made it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Greninja fan. I feel like a hater. I don't want to hate on folks' favorite Pokemon, but it's not my thing.
I don't hate him, but he's not my favorite.
Yeah, same.
Yep. So that's Pokemon Day. Kind of I don't know. Are you guys underwhelmed, overwhelmed, whelmed?
You know what? I don't know what it is. Sword and Shield really kind of just took the Pokemon out of me. And I'm not interested in booting it up to collect. I did boot up home, and like you guys discussed last week or whatever, spent the $16 for the whole year when really I just probably needed to do it for the month.
That one day.
That's all I needed it for.
You won't play it again until Pokemon Day
wow.
2021 when the next game comes out.
Well, I do need to actually. I haven't even logged onto Bank. Like that's how little I've done. I booted it up on my Switch and I bought it, and my 3DS is dead. It's been dead for like months. I haven't even plugged it in, so I need to log on and do all the transfer. But it's just I haven't even beaten the game. I think I got 6 out of the 8 gym badges. I need to go back.
You still
and
never went back and finished?
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So even when Brian's like, "You want to trade stuff with Pokemon Go?" because he collects a lot of things. There's like a cute little Kanto event going on right now because of the anniversary, and Pikachu and Eevee get little red hats. So he's catching a bunch of them because, you know, when you evolve them into all of the evolutions, they do keep that hat. But he's catching a few extra for me, but I'm just like, meh. Couldn't really care less.
Yeah, I understand. I used to love Pokemon, played it a ton as a kid, but
Yeah.
I haven't really been into it since man, if I'm being honest, probably before what was first, Black and White or X and Y? I'm not sure.
Black White.
Black White was.
I played Sun and Moon, and that was good. I don't think I finished it,
The best.
but I've never been. It hasn't pulled me back in since then. I think I played I did play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu,
Yes,
and
I enjoyed.
that was a good return. And I liked the changes they made. But yeah, I'm kind of with you, Caro. I haven't really been into it in a while, so
I don't know what
have
it is.
Sword and Shield. I'll be honest, the raids and stuff sound cool, and they're the kind of thing I think I'd enjoy. But
And the raids are really
I'll
interesting.
never get the game yet.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
but-
I
think
might
they're
need to
like.
do that.
I honestly think they're the best thing about the game.
Yeah,
I got
might
lost.
need to take the Donnie approach and buy a discount copy just so I can try it out.
I got lost in the wild area for just like hours.
But
Like
see,
The wild area looks awesome.
it's fun.
That hasn't pulled me in at all. I mean, whenever somebody comes on chat and if they're like, "Hey, we're doing raids," I'll jump in with them.
Kyle.
But other than that, yeah, pretty much Kyle and Rebecca was doing a few, and it doesn't appeal to me. It's not like something that I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm totally itching to go and play and finish Pokemon right now."
Sure.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm with you. The campaign is not good. So,
Mm.
from a game style, like if you're a catch 'em all, Pokemon Sword and Shield's great. I think if that's your motive to catch them all, if you're like I just want to play the game and get the story, and like you really don't care about catching them all, I think it leaves a lot to be desired. There's like there's little there to keep you, because the story is. I don't want to just turn into a rail in this game. We've already done this show, but it's
I
just,
know.
It's not.
I didn't mean to.
No, but I am excited. As I said, I rebought the game for the expansions, and I'm hoping that the expansions give me a little
Yeah.
something.
I'm
That might be the thing
thinking-
that gets me to buy it, is if the expansions turn out really well.
Yeah,
I'll pick it up
same.
then.
Okay,
Depends on how much I'm playing Animal Crossing.
it's always like a big event, and I know Pokemon Masters had stuff going, and Pokemon Go had stuff going, and it's cool that we have like this daily celebration.
Mystery Dungeon DX is coming out next week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I tweeted out this morning a little tweet that got some retweets of just some pictures of me and Jack playing Pokemon cards, and because
Cute.
for Pokemon, for me it was always the card game. That's my tie to Pokemon.
That's what got the show and the cards is what got
Yeah,
me.
that's what I was into.
So
Which fun tangent, if I can take it really quick.
Yeah.
I was going through some clutter that I had, and I've had a binder of Pokemon cards for
Wow.
I don't know, since
I'm
I was
jealous.
8 or whatever. And I was like, maybe it's time to donate this to another kid, let them enjoy it. I'm not doing anything with it anymore, and I'm not a big collector. So I was going through and I'm like, well, maybe I should see if any of them are worth anything. And I did a quick search, and nothing worth much, until I found a website. It's like, here are the top 10 most valuable Pokemon cards, and it had this first edition Charizard card that
base set.
is a misprint.
Oh,
Where
you
all
had the misprint, didn't
yeah,
you?
and I have it, and I guess it's the little shadow box around the picture is missing on it, and the thing makes it worth like 10 times more than all the other ones. I went on eBay. This thing goes for, depending on the quality, anywhere from like $300 to $1,000.
Sold. Sell it.
Money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so. I
Now
need
you
to
have to-
list it and see what I can get
Yeah,
for it. But I
sell
was like, you got to be kidding me! I'll donate the rest of them, but I'm going to sell this guy.
Oh no!
Use that to
that would just be
pay for my
incentive
Pokemon
for
game.
me to collect everything else.
No, sell it. Sell all of them. That's
Yeah, no.
ridiculous. Sell them all. Buy yourself some counterfeits like me.
That's crazy, dude. That's so much. That's so awesome. Love it.
But yeah, my tie was the cards, and it's crazy because the cards got me into the show, which got me into the games, and then I've played the games for so long, and even now that I'm a casual fan at best, but even now, like, I still watch the movies and we watch Detective Pikachu, but now it's like a thing that I do with Jack, and it's what me and Jack do, and we play usually every weekend, like when I'm home alone, like Sundays, like lazy days, we'll pull out
Yeah.
the cards and have a Pokemon battle, and he loves Pokemon, man. He talks Pokemon left, right, up, down for days, and so it's cool that, like, I don't think I have that many franchises that do that. I think we're there with Mario, and I think we're there with Zelda, but that might be about it. I don't think there's anything else that he and I can both like really enjoy and talk shop about, at like a geeky level, that's not like passing in the wind. That's really cool. So happy Pokemon Day 2020.
Yay.
Caroline, your wonderful 101 game is released May 19th.
Yep.
Please be excited. The four...
I mean, they're doing it on the updates for the Kickstarter. They do an update every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with just like little tidbits about what's in development and did you know this? And they're doing a pretty good job with it. I think I actually bought the Wonderful 101 for Wii U finally. It was the last thing I needed for my Wii U collection, and I just bought it, so it's on the way.
So you bought the Wonderful 101 remastered before you bought the actual Wonderful 101. Now you've bought both.
Mm-hmm. I probably won't play the Wii U version, but it's got to be on the shelf.
Poor Wii U. Poor Wii U.
Okay, it has a home.
Their 4platinumgames.com website has been updated, and they have unveiled Project GG.
Mm-hmm.
This shows giant figures fighting as citizens run away from the destruction in this giant Godzilla-like kaiju type of game. It is being marked as the conclusion to Kamiya's superhero trilogy, with the others obviously being Beautiful Joe and their Wonderful 101, which is weird because Beautiful Joe had a 1 and a 2.
It had a 1 and a 2, which is why when they're saying
So it's
the
not
end
a
of the
trilogy at all.
I think it's Beautiful Joe.
No.
3.
He specifically said that, yeah.
That's so bizarre.
That's what he said.
Like
That's not what people
default,
are saying.
Bravely Second, Bravely Default 2.
Yeah, it's odd. I was thinking that too. I remember when you saw that in the Discord. I was like, yeah, I had those games. They've also unveiled another project that they're very, very excited with their new Tokyo studio. Platinum Tokyo will focus on live ops games, or better known, games as a service. Mm-hmm. So it seems like we know where all that Tencent money is probably going, and that's probably misconstrued on my part. I have no evidence of that, but I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense.
It would make
I can see it.
That fits really well. I was like, yep, that's where all that money goes. This will be the first game, this Project GG, first game that they completely own. And that's basically the entire blog post is them going, I want to say on and on. They're very, very excited. I feel like they're jaded a bit. Like I want to know what's behind this. They're very excited to tell you that this game was built by them, is owned by them, will be marketed by them and sold by them and only them and nobody else. There's like 7 paragraphs detailing about all of this. And
Didn't Kamiya work for
Capcom,
right? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, I think ever since
Beautiful Joe's Capcom property.
Right.
That's
ever since he broke off from them, I think he's just kind of been the redheaded stepchild.
Well, I think with the emphasis that they're putting on, to me, I read it as if they don't enjoy working with certain publishers. It makes me wonder if like they don't enjoy working with Nintendo.
It seems like
I
they're
don't
trying
know
to pull away and do their own
Exactly.
thing. I mean,
It's like
with the Kickstarter and putting so much emphasis on a self-published created game. I mean, it feels like they want to become their own entity, not be bound to anyone else.
Yep.
I do think that they probably just want to put it out there for everyone. They want to put it out on all platforms if possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Where they've just been able to do
It's obvious that I apparently don't understand these things. I would love to talk to somebody about it because it's like, why weren't they doing it before?
I don't think Kamiya had maybe he didn't have the clout. Maybe he didn't have the fun.
He's always had the clout. No, like when they broke off from Capcom, it wasn't just him.
I know.
When they broke off from Capcom, they were the hottest folks in the biz at the time. They were huge free agents. He could self-publish. I feel like he could self-publish any game he wants. Like in today's world, when any app company can get venture capital in the millions, like he should have no problem I don't know. Like I don't.
Yes, it's just.
I don't want to poke holes in the story, but I'm just like, what's the underlying current behind all of this, and why now? Because I remember when Bayonetta 2 came out on Wii U, the focus was this could never happen without Nintendo. Like without them, we could never do this, and we're so happy to do it. And it hasn't been that long, and they're like, we never want to work with anybody ever again. We only want to work by ourselves. And you know, and here's another thing to think about. If this is in fact the first game that they self-publish and self-market, like I wonder if, like, what if it doesn't go well?
I don't know.
I feel
it's
like
a good point.
It feels like they've got enough clout and reputation with other, publishers that they should be able to recover well enough. So I don't know. Maybe it's just their first step to see, can we even do this?
Yeah.
And obviously in today's, I mean, I think this is not even today thing, but I feel like a lot of folks want to be independent all the time. Like independence is valued greatly. And I feel like that's like, as we modernize more and more, like every day in the present day, everybody wants to be always more independent.
Yeah.
So I don't fault them for that at all. It just it doesn't it just feels like a big swing.
Seems out of character.
Yeah,
a
it's just
little
like a huge swing because it's like they've done all of these contracts and second party ports and agreements on certain characters and certain licenses. Like Nintendo co-owns Bayonetta and they co-own Astral Chain, and they had like what is I'm going to call it Dragon Scale. What is it? Scalebound.
Oh,
I
yes.
always think
Scalebound.
Dragon
Yeah,
Scale.
yeah.
Scalebound. They had that going with Xbox. You know, like so that was their business that they did for years, and it's all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's like no, we never
Makes you
want
wonder
to
if
do this
they
again.
got burned by one of them or
Yeah,
something.
it's like what's
Has
the
it done?
story? What happened? Anyway,
I don't think it would be Nintendo though. Unless they're resentful about the way that Wonderful 101 did for. I think they just.
Well, didn't
that
Nintendo
because it was-
support the Kickstarter or something
Oh yeah,
like that?
yep.
Yeah.
Did they?
So
Oh,
They totally
I
they
don't
did
think it would
they
be Nintendo.
refused to publish it, and they allowed because they co-own the Wonderful 101. They
Yeah.
allowed Platinum to take it to other consoles. They gave them their blessing,
oh,
but they said they didn't want to. I guess they don't believe. They didn't believe in it as I guess a mass market product. I don't know. That's the type of insider stuff that I'd love to have an interview with. I'd
Yeah.
love to sit down with the head of a studio and be like, okay, tell me exactly how much money it takes to market a game. Like, how much money does it actually take to print discs? Because all we hear about all these relationships
Yeah.
changing hands, but we don't know. Like, we're talking 10 million, 50 million, 1 million, 500 grand? Like, I have no idea. I would love to pick the brain and just
Yeah.
get
That'd be a great question.
That'd be fun. Okay, Caroline,
yeah.
Persona 5 Scramble, Strikers here, launched in Japan. Some might say that they were expecting Switch to do better. We talked about this when the demo came out and when this was announced. 115,000 copies launch week on PS4, 46,000 copies on Switch.
That doesn't surprise me. It's a PlayStation exclusive series. Most people that enjoy the game are PlayStation owners already, and they're probably. I think the Switch people are the ones that are wanting to get into the series and somehow are just Muso fans. That doesn't surprise me.
I think a lot of, if you read the blogs and like some of the Twitter stuff, especially some of the Persona things that I follow, a lot of people were expecting it to do better, or not better, but do more on Switch than it did, just due to portability and the fact, like the Japan seems to go that route a lot. But yeah,
Did they ever release a demo for English? No, they really need to do that because sure, I think it would do well enough in Japan, but if people claim that it's going to have a big impact on Switch owners, I feel like they need to release that demo for
I don't think
America.
I don't think it is. I mean, I think they will. The demo will come. It's not localized yet. That's why it's not out.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like the game is out over there. They're localizing it, and once they finish, it'll come out over here. I imagine this fall
gotcha.
or like late this summer. But I don't think it's like Fire Emblem Warriors was kind of a flop, actually. Like sales wise, it did not do well at all.
Oh yeah.
This will do better than that because I believe Persona's brand, stronger than Fire Emblem, but I don't expect it to be too much more than that, to be quite honest with you, because this is Persona 5. There's nothing else like it on any Nintendo platform. So like this is kind of a launch to a brand new set of customers, and the fact that it's not the main game also I think will keep people away from trying it.
That's just
Yeah, I'd
it.
agree with
I
that.
don't think I'm going to try it unless I finally
should.
play Persona 5.
It's so good. I
I
played
want to
it.
know. I want to know.
Could you really
about
appreciate it
characters.
though?
I think so.
without knowing the characters.
Well, that's just it.
No,
I just
you're right. You're right.
It is. They've said that it's actually supposed to be like a part 2 or a follow up to the
It's
first
a
game.
standalone story.
I don't want to spoil things.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think
there's-
it's going to be very
there-
different.
I'm not saying it's going to be heavily story driven because I don't think that Muso games are heavily
it's not.
story driven. Period. You're playing it for hack and slash, but
Mhm.
I still don't want to spoil anything. That's just it. I want to experience Persona 5 the way that I should experience it by playing the game first.
I think you guys are right. As much as I don't want to admit it, because I know the characters because I've watched the anime. But no, you're right. You're right. A lot of people are not going to want to either, like you said, be spoiled or get into it late. And a lot of people just don't even know who they are. They don't even know what they know. Persona's a thing. I mean, even for all the success Persona has had, it's still a niche game.
Yeah.
I think it's the same as Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear people complain about Fire Emblem all the time, and I don't understand the appeal. And most of them have never played a game and become attached to the characters and don't understand references, things like that. So I think it would suffer a similar fate without having the experience with the actual game.
I got to tell you, having played it, though, it's a quality port. That is one of the best comparison port to port. I played it completely portable, and I was like, this game looks fantastic. Like, it looks great. I'm so excited because I love the art style. It's so good. And the cutscenes are going to be beautiful. I just think it's going to be and just playing the demo by itself, I already feel very confident. Like, this is way better than Fire Emblem Warriors ever wanted to be. It's just a much, much better game. Not close. So that's all. I said it. You guys will hear me go on and on about it when it comes out. Okay.
We look forward to it.
Let me check my time here. All right, so we got some new game updates. I will read them off. Well, you know what? I'll just stop and ask you. Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, developed by Vine, published by Yacht Club Games, co-developed as well, has been announced. The roguelike puzzler match game with a twist. As Shovel Knight moves, so does the board. It's coming to Nintendo Switch this fall, 2020, which I think is an asterisk. I pulled that direct from Nintendo Life. Everything else that I've seen said they didn't list it, and I didn't see it in the Yacht Club had a little video they put up, a little direct. I didn't see in the video either that they announced any platforms or timing. I
didn't see any platform announcements.
That's why I put that in an asterisk, because that was there, and they may have copied that from a press or something. I'm not sure. I don't know where they got it, but if that's it, like they were like the only people apparently that paid enough attention to get a date.
I won't be surprised if it comes to Switch, but I didn't see any specific announcements.
I'm sure it will.
That's gonna. I mean, I think with all that stuff, like that game is specific, like mobile game. Like that's going to come to phones, and it'll probably come to Switch as well. And if they can get a console version, they'll probably, Yacht Club wants you to play their game as much as you want. Are either of you excited, intrigued?
I still got to play regular Shovel Knight. I don't know. This is a puzzle game, so it's probably I've got too many other things to worry about right now than to kill my time with a puzzle game.
It's a little too casual for my taste. I will say I like how it reminded me of Cadence of Hyrule in the way that the board moves and the characters move. And I really liked that game and the gameplay on it, but it's a little too simplified. It looks more like a mobile game, and I prefer a little bit more meat.
Okay. They did say that Shovel Knight Dig is still in development, planned for next year. So don't look for it, just next year. It's in 2021.
Should we add a year on that like we had to do for the Amiibo?
When they announced that without like any update, I was like, is this going to be like the longest Dig game ever? Because I mean, I don't know, like
I just don't think they have that many people working on it.
Maybe so. It's just like when you see that game, it's like, what's taking so long?
Yeah.
That is so dismissive and mean.
Maybe like a 2 or 3 man group.
But I can't be the only person that thought that. Like that has to. You're like, wait a minute, because it was.
And I don't mean to say it in a mean way. It's
right.
Just,
like it's not
developed a reputation at this point.
Exactly the point I'm trying to make. Thank you very much. Just like, wow, Dig game, okay. Cyber Shadow, the Ninja Gaiden side scroller, the Yacht Club Games is publishing, is expected to release later 2020. I think they said late summer 2020. So that game's coming out. And that game looks pretty cool. # Jason Lacey game for sure.
Expected for release summer 2020. So like winter 2021.
Oh man, that's mean. Now that's mean. That's going too far.
Do they have a trailer for this one? I haven't seen the trailer for it.
Yeah, they've done it. So they announced this one
out
last year when they had their first Yacht Club Presents video. And then they just gave an update on this one. I mean, I admit, if you're into like Ninja Gaiden, Metroidvania, like kind of that 8-bit retro aesthetic thing, like that's what this is. It looks good.
Jason and I share a lot of similar games. So
then you're going to love Cyber
I need
Shadow.
to check this one out, yeah.
All right, now I'm excited for this one. Very excited, actually. Fuser from Harmonix. The game puts players in control of the music where they can fuse together elements from hit songs by some of the world's top artists, include Billie Eilish, The Chainsmokers, Imagine Dragons, Lil Nas, Lizzo, Migos, Post Malone, and many, many more. I was just talking last week about like what is, like, hey, what's Harmonix up to? What are they doing? And I was talking about their VR stuff. And then boom, this game comes out of nowhere. This is playable at PAX. So we're seeing people play it. There's gameplay video up. It is Drop Mix, the video game. Are you guys familiar with the board game Drop Mix?
Yeah.
No, never heard of it.
So Drop Mix is you put this little, this little like canister.
Yeah.
How the hell do you say it? It's got holders. It's like card holders.
Okay.
It's like a thing, and then
sorry, go ahead.
You place cards in the holders, and whatever card you put down activates a beat or a particular portion of that song. So you could have like a
so you
Billie
can get the
Eilish
bass
song.
or the drums or
Perfectly.
vocals or something.
So you place it in the drum and it pulls the drum from that card, or you place it in the vocals and it pulls the vocals from that card. And the whole point of the game is to mix and match different beats to create a song, earn more points, beat your opponent. But in this, they take the Rock Band approach, where you're playing against like the crowd. So you're the DJ at the rave, you're at Coachella, you got your beats going, and the crowd is like telling you if you're doing a good job or not, and they'll hit you with specific requests. Like, hey, can I get some more rock in this? Can you give me some more drum? Can you get a little more funky on the bass? And that's your challenge, is swapping out the beats, in time with the music to kind of accomplish the mission of the game. And they mentioned that there will be like a multiplayer and things like that. My daughter and I share a big love for music games. We still play Rock Band. We play Beat Saber. We buy all these things, Audica. I buy all these DLC. And when I showed her this, she was like, oh my God, I'm going to love this game. And yeah, so am I. So it's coming to Switch. First game like it on Switch. So it's not like we have Rock Band and Beat Saber and anything else like that. So I'm definitely going to get it on Switch for that reason, because I have, things to play on these other systems.
Is it bad that I don't know like half of these artists?
No.
I'm glad I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I know Billy. I know the Chainsmokers.
Hey, there was some Kansas in there and some Journey. Like there's some stuff in there for old people.
Yeah. The more modern stuff.
Lil Nas X, is that the one that sings that Old Town Road song?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know what Post Malone looks like because he did those commercials for the Super Bowl with the Did he do the Bud Light commercials? Or
yeah, he had one where he went into the grocery store and his mind makes him fall all over the place. Yeah, and then there's the one where he's at the bar.
So I know he's the guy with the tattoos all over his face and stuff.
And he looks like Lucas if Lucas put tattoos on his face.
That's sort of accurate.
There's a photo somewhere in Fluxtaplo's land.
Comparing the two of them?
Yeah.
That's funny. So I don't know who Lizzo, I don't know who Migos is. I've never heard a Post Malone song, so I have no idea. What kind of name is Post? Is that his name?
No. Now you just sound like from a senior center or something. Like what?
No, seriously, you have no idea, Johnny. You know the
Look at Garrett. Look at Garrett. Garrett in the chat. He did the intro to the Spider-Verse song. My son
he
loves
did a lot
that
of
song.
Spider-Verse. Yeah, he did a great job for Spider-Verse.
I don't know anything about the Spider-Verse stuff either.
Spider-Verse is the best Marvel movie.
I need it.
It's so good.
I'm 30. I'm done. I don't know anything.
You need to play the Spider-Verse. Anyway, like I said, I'm very, very excited for this game. Like I'm happy. I was wondering if Switch would ever get anything like this. I think on an episode with Kevin and maybe with PSVG, I think I was asking him like, would Rock Band ever come to Switch? Because it's like
I wish it would.
It all happened a couple years ago, right? Before Switch came out. And then now that Switch is here and it's selling so well, I was like, would they port it? Like, I think they could.
It's been out way before.
But they're not making
I'm talking
any
about
new
Rock
ones.
Band 4. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Oh,
like when Xbox and PS4 launched, I think the year after launch, so 2015.
I see what you're saying.
They launched Rock Band 4. And like Wii U got Guitar Hero of all things. And then, but Switch
I don't
comes
remember
out.
that.
Yeah, Guitar Hero Live on Wii U.
I'm so old.
Man, I miss Guitar Hero. My wife and I went to Dave & Buster's the other day and played some Guitar Hero. It was awesome.
They still Guitar Hero at Dave & Buster's?
Oh, yeah. But the guitar is super gross because everyone plays it. You pick it up.
Yeah.
Like, there's just slimy and gross.
Coronavirus.
Touch it, but yeah, exactly.
COVID-19 all over that thing.
This is how people are getting coronavirus.
Guitar Hero. Oh, that's really, really good. But I think
it was super fun.
One of the benefits of this, because it's like DJ Hero, Drop Mix kind of the game, is that there are no instruments required. You just buy the game. You play the game, buy the game. It'll be interesting to see how they support it. Like, will they roll out a DLC plan, like similar to Rock Band 4? Because if they will, I'm all about it. Because I'll keep buying stuff. Yeah.
That seems like the right choice there.
I would love it. Bubble Bobble for Friends, out March 31st.
Kevin game.
Yeah, it is. I was going to buy this game, and then our friends over at Nintendo Village, I think Gary reviewed it, and he kind of gave it like kind of a mediocre score. He's like, it's okay. And I was like, aw. Mm-hmm. I was really excited. It was going to be like, it's awesome again. I was like, oh no. And then the last one that I got is Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, releases this summer. Set before Jack's final fight with Aku, the evil entity that trapped Jack in alternate timelines throughout human history. Jack will have to fight his way through several different timelines in order to reach Aku and defeat him. Did you guys?
They look good.
Do you see the trailer?
They look good.
It does look good.
I was like, dude, if Samurai Jack was literally just like this, that look for the whole show, I was like, can we get a reboot? Maybe.
I mean, that's why I put it on the notes, because at first I was like, I saw everybody like kind of tweeting her, and I saw Delvin tweet about it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go take a look at it because I like Samurai Jack. It's a funny show, and I opened it and I was like, man, that looks like a really good like video game, a little hack and slash. I was like, ooh, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, am I about to pre-order a Samurai Jack game? Like, I think I am. Has
there been a Samurai Jack game before?
Oh, I'm sure there has. There had to be.
There's got to have been.
Yeah, there's no way that franchise didn't do something. It wasn't like this though. This looks
Samurai
good.
Jack's good stuff. Yeah,
It's like a
it
platinum
looked really
game.
good. It looked really good.
It's really, really good. Okay, so that gets us through this week in Nintendo, and leads us to what we're up to. So, Caroline, what have you been up to? Like I said, you've been painting, traveling the world, doing all the things.
When did we switch these things around? When did we start doing what are you up to after news and
After
stuff?
the great Caro
After
leaving the
Exodus?
show.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have Shaq BC and Shaq AC. Shaq before Caro.
I love it. I love it. I have been painting the house, which is a task. I have been knitting, which is, a very calming type therapeutic thing. In terms of like my mental health, yes, I'm fine. I haven't been streaming much. I was starting to get back into streaming, and then work started kicking my butt, and I just haven't had the chance to stream as much as I would like. Animal Crossing will change that.
Let me ask you a question then. So, if I can just hold your feet to the fire here.
Okay.
You leave Shaq. Too much commitment, too much going on. You take time off. And you're saying when Animal Crossing comes back, you're just going to stream all the time? Like, doesn't those counteract each other?
No.
I think they
what
do,
I'm
though.
saying is I will start streaming some more. Have you seen my stream schedule? I've been doing it. I didn't do any last week. I did once this week.
Okay.
I haven't been doing it at all. Work has really, really just been a nightmare this week.
Maybe
especially.
you should. I mean, hard to take life advice from me. Maybe you should just stream on like Saturday instead of trying to make a schedule and stuff. Maybe just like Saturday mornings from 8 to 12. I'm going to stream, and that's it.
That's number one. I'm not a morning person.
From
Number two,
12 to 4. Like that wasn't the point I was trying to make.
That's my chore time. That's when I do my chores. That's when I hang out with Brian because Brian's at work all day, all week long.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
unless he's doing work on the weekends, which he sometimes does. But sob story aside, I'm okay. I'm just going through trying to figure out what to do, and adulting sucks pretty much, guys. Don't grow up. I really don't want to grow up. Game wise, I finished 2 collections. I finished 2.
Which two?
My last Wii U games are coming in the mail, and
Do you have
my
Guitar
last
Hero Live?
no.
Then you're not
Then
done.
it's not done.
You're not done.
Nintendo developed and/or produced games. That's my quota, right? So I have
What a fake
few
collector. Look at this. Their own
Nintendo
little
developed
specific
and/or
criteria.
yes, Nintendo, and my last Virtual Boy game is in the mail, coming. So the Virtual Boy,
It's exciting.
it's it is exciting because it's just one less block of stuff I have to look at on my spreadsheet.
I've never seen a Virtual Boy in real life.
Have you really not?
I've never like
I don't think I have either.
put my
Oh,
hands
dude,
on
they-
one. I don't even know.
I
So when
remember
you
when
say
they-
a Virtual Boy game, I assume you mean a cartridge. Is it like a disc or a mini disc or something? I have no idea.
Little show and tell time here.
Fantastic
So
for podcasts.
These are my little cases that I made out of DS cases, right? But the cartridges are this big.
Okay.
They come with a little sleeve.
It looks about the same size as a Game Boy cartridge, maybe a little bigger.
Wider.
It's a little wider
Yeah.
because these did not fit in my cassettes. I found that out the hard way because I ordered too many cassettes because I thought I was going to be able to put these in here, but they're too wide for a cassette. So yeah, they're wider than a Game Boy, but you can't play a Virtual Boy long. There's a reason that it failed because it really does give you a headache. I get really, really bad headaches. I'm susceptible to migraines like crazy, and just when I was doing the whole baking my Virtual Boy to try and get the glue to melt on the ribbon cable to get it to work again, just looking in the screen at there's a really bad refresh rate on that screen. It's really, really like jumpy, and it's just red.
It's so funny.
It's
You
all
hear
red.
people complain of like nausea and stomach like with today's VR headsets, and you're like, oh man.
Well, they were ahead of their time, but it was all one color and the refresh rates, and I seriously don't know how people do.
Yeah,
VR.
the idea was good, but the execution was awful.
Yes.
Yeah, we weren't there yet with technology.
Yeah.
No, and it's very heavy. If you're not sitting with it on the table and you're like crouched down, like actually putting your head in this thing, number one, you're giving yourself neck pain in addition to a headache. Number two, it's just heavy. You really can't do anything with it unless it's on the table. 2 collections down the tubes, and Rune Factory 4 came out this week.
Yes.
Special, excuse me. It's the remake of the 3DS title from 2013, 2012 in Japan, 2013 here. Anyway, it's been a long time, and I love the new difficulty modes because I just threw everything on easy. Whereas Benji is also playing this. Everybody I know is playing this.
I'm not playing it.
Dusk
I'm
is
not playing it either, so that's at
No,
least 2.
no plans or intent to play it ever.
Okay, well, all of my fellow JRPG lovers are playing it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm having a really fun time. There are 3 main parts of the story, and I've already done part 1 as of today. I finished part 1 where I woke up all of the Guardians, and the last Guardian just so happens to be Husbando, voiced by Matthew Mercer. Love him. And we are going to work on courting the boy into marriage. So, yay! I get to marry him all over again. Brian knows how much I love him. He gives me crap. So he says, he's your daddy, isn't he? I was like, yeah, he's my daddy. So
It's going to be an interesting relationship where your wife has a myriad of other fascinations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and on my end, my wife gets mad. She's like, "What? You have a wife in Stardew? Like, what is this? You can't have someone else." I'm like, "It's fictitious. It's a video game."
I got Brian into Harvest Moon. I put him on the GameCube A Wonderful Life game first, and I was like recommending which one of the girls that he should wife, and he did a pretty good job. It's not hard when you just give a girl a flower every day, but hashtag not real life. That's about it. Like I said, work has been kicking my butt. So even though this game came out this week and I've been blasting through it because there's an easy mode, I'm still kind of just in a, I need a vacation.
Yeah, I mean, we said this last time. You just sound like you just need to stop gaming for a bit. I've been there.
No, I mean,
we all have, right?
You just finished your collections.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying Rune Factory 4. It's just trying to find time in the middle of a busy adulting life.
Yeah.
That's the thing that
Well,
sucks.
don't force it. That always is stressful when you try to force it in there.
Yeah. I've been going to bed and knitting to wind myself down.
Knitting, is it cathartic?
Oh, it is so cathartic. It's just very like, I don't know.
What are you knitting?
I'm doing like a really long scarf. I bought this beautiful yarn like a year ago that I totally forgot about, and when we moved I found out. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about this. So I pulled it out, and I actually got so much that Brian's like, you should knit a matching hat, and I was like, that's perfect. So I'm knitting a scarf and a hat.
We expect pictures when it's done.
It's true.
Yes.
Yep.
I'll have to take pictures of the yarn. That was when I posted on Twitter a few weeks ago that I tangled it up into a huge mess, and it took me 5 hours to untangle it. It was a nightmare.
Okay. Well, hang in there. I was
Yeah,
gonna say
it's the little things. Brian brought me home some chocolate from his like lunch party today that they had. Apparently there was like some cakes and some brownies and stuff, and he's like,
of course there was.
Yeah. I've been working out though. Guys, I'm down 6 or 7 pounds since the beginning of the year.
That's awesome.
Boom.
So,
good job.
Yeah. One thing is that I've just been, I've actually been working out 30 minutes every day, riding the stationary bicycle and riding it really, really, really fast. We're talking like 80 beats per minute music. Do. Burns a lot of calories. have to shower immediately after. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I've
congrats.
been losing weight, which is good.
Okay. On my end, I don't actually have too much to say. We played Mario Kart 8 last week and had a lot of fun hanging out. I had way too much fun, actually. You can go catch the stream. Remember, it's rated R. Like all of our, as the saying goes, look, we try to keep it PG on the podcast as much as we can. And then, but once you go live, that's, everything's gone then. Like that's the demilitarized zone. That's the DMZ over there. So I did that. I played through the first 3 chapters of Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition on Switch. It's fantastic. It's a PlayStation 2 game. It still looks like it. It's got, it's sharper. Like it's got that old game, but like sharp and crisp and clear look.
Yeah, I've seen some people playing it on
Right.
Twitch.
All the polygons and everything are the same. Just everything is sharp and bright, and it looks like you expect it to. Still, the great game that it always was. It's crazy and dumb and stupid. Dude gets stabbed left and right, through like everywhere, and just like walks away and says some smart alecky line. It's fun. I like being able to change styles on the fly. Yeah, exactly. It's that game. So if you like Dante and you like that, then you're gonna like this. And
He's another husbando.
everyone.
What's the new guy's name? Nero or something?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, he's cute, but he's not Dante.
And so I'm having fun with it. I'm glad that they did it. I think it's my biggest takeaway is I think it's really, really cool that they updated an old game like without remastering it. And, like, so we expect changes like when they do a remaster and they like re-release it and it's like a big, it's a full retail release for like $40, something like that. This is very much like the same game. Like some of the cutscenes actually are like the same, and those are funny to watch because then like the screen has like that smear,
like
that blurry
old DVD. Like
yeah,
from
you're like, what
2002?
is this exactly? Which is I don't know, like it. I think it kind of adds to the nostalgia.
It's probably 360p, like tops.
It's crazy. Like I said, I think it because there's scripted scenes that's in engine that look great, right? Because everything's brighter and crisper.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's actual cutscene. And then you
Going
see
to
it.
watch a YouTube video from 2005.
Exactly. It's the same thing. You're like, what is this?
That's hilarious.
280p? And it's like everything's got like that blur around everything. And it's just, and I forgot just how much, and like this shouldn't come to a surprise, especially having just played Devil May Cry 5, just how much they care about presentation. And the effort that they go into like script sequences, like when blades, just barely hit each other and create a spark, or like the sound wave blocks out the rain, just these little moments in Devil May Cry. I'm just like, man, this game is awesome. Like this franchise is just super fun if you want to get a dumb game where you just beat up a lot of things. So I've been enjoying that a little. I've been playing the Turing Test, which I got for review. Kind of voluntold to do it, actually. So the
Turing test?
The Turing test.
Touring?
Turing. Like
What?
turning without the
Like
N.
a Turing machine? Like early computers? I'm sorry, the computer geek coming out.
Yes. So the Turing test, this is published by the Square Enix Collective. And this was a game that they announced, I think maybe about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, where they're saying like, hey, we have a Switch surprise. And everybody got all kinds of excited because it said Square Enix. They were like, Kingdom Hearts. It's like, guys, it's the Collective. It's the indie version of Square Enix. But this was the game, right? They were bringing this port over to Switch. And it was interesting because the person that does a lot of their outreach and media, they put out one of those tweets that I think if you follow a lot of these folks you've seen before, they're like, hey, we would love to get this game in the hands of Switch creators and things like that. Anybody out there, streamers, podcasters, things like that. And I had like 4 people say like, hey, Nintendo Shack, and they kept tagging us. Kevin tagged me, I think Rebecca tagged me, and a couple other people tagged me. So she DM'd me, and I just told her like, hey, I'd be happy to. I told her, I was like, we really don't do reviews, but we talk about things in the podcast, and I'd be happy to. I haven't beat it yet. It's like Portal. It's really what it is, and it's like you're trapped on a space station. Like you go to this, you wake up and you're in like a pod, orbiting, like this planet. And they drop you down into like this space station where everything has been like moved around, and it's like all of these circuit puzzles. Like you have these blocks that connect the circuits, open doors, which do different things like that. And you have like you have a gun, and the gun doesn't like shoot like ping, like pow pow. It shoots like a tractor beam to pick up the blocks to put them in the socket and stuff and complete the circuit.
That's very Portal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very Portal. And I'm playing it in like I said, I haven't been playing a whole lot since last Friday, so I'm still early on. I'm only a couple hours in. Has very interesting like voiceover, like the Portal, the AI that you're talking to, kind of has like a Jeremy Irons, like Borgia type feel to it. Not like Scar Jeremy Irons, like, you know.
I love Jeremy Irons, man.
Like laid back Jeremy Irons, but it has that kind of sound.
Yeah.
The port looks really good. Like that's probably the best thing I say about it right now is that it looks really, really nice. Especially like it's weird. They have like these hallways that connect segments, and in these hallways you kind of walk through like locks and then you get scanned. And I think it's like the game's version of like autosave mechanically. So you get scanned, and in these sections the game kind of looks fuzzy. Like it looks a little, and to be honest with you, I need to put it on the dock just so I can give you guys a better review. I'm playing it like I play most things on my Switch, completely on the light. And so it looks a little blurry, but the moment you walk into one of the puzzle areas, like the game kind of crispens back up. And looks quite nice for what I would call like a console port. Right, this game came out to PC and consoles. It's played on big screens, and like making the way over to Switch, even though it's not that demanding, is quite good compared to like some other like walking sims and things that are similar in nature. I think this one looks really, really good. So I really like that about it. It does get complex, like Portal, where you're starting to do circuits that don't just complete the room, but you know, circuits that matter over multiple rooms, and you got to go through like windows to get the block to bring it over here to open the door, to drop the ladder to get to the other side. There's like magnets and stuff that you start to use to like you set up like chain reactions that you got to like run around and jump platform to get through and stuff like that. So it's a lot of that, which is to say that, you know, those typically not my favorite type of, like I don't play these types of games. So I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. It's just, it's not like I'm not like super compelled so far with the story. It has that mysterious story. You know, it's like, oh my God, where's the crew? What are you doing? I guess we got to complete these puzzles and figure it out. It's like that. And like, I don't know if the AI is like sentient yet or not, but I'll find out soon. I don't think it's that long of a game. I did look it up on how long to beat.
For an indie game, I wouldn't. It's
like 5 or 6 hours. So I was playing it while I was watching AEW last night, and I was playing it a little bit Sunday morning because that's when I first got started, because I was playing a little Devil May Cry. And to be honest with you, I've been playing all kinds of games, just not Switch games. Like since Mario Kart, I've been playing The Division. I've been playing VR, playing Wind Waker, you know, so things like that.
Always the Wind Waker.
Did you see my pictures with the TV?
Yes.
So good. It's so
Beautiful.
good. Yep. I got to Deku, and that island, the whole screen like glows green over my wall. I was like, oh my God, it's so good.
You got to take a picture of that. I want to see that.
Okay, I will. I left last Saturday, but I will. I thought.
Yeah. You have to go back at some
point.
The
last
anyway.
time I took a picture and posted it, like the two responses were like Donnie and his lights. So I was like, okay, maybe I should stop posting pictures of the lights.
I got to do some lights down here. Like the LED lights are dope. They're affecting you.
Yeah, so I guess just all kind of full steam ahead towards, I'm going to kind of hang out with Wind Waker and kind of clean up some indie games and some things like this as we head towards Animal Crossing. And I'm going to pass on Mystery Dungeon for now, only because
you're
I've
the
got...
one that pre-ordered it originally.
Yeah, I know. And I'm going to pass on it only because I just don't see time. I've got, what is it? Ori, Doom, like that, Animal Crossing, Resident Evil 3, Last of Us. Like all of that's kind of coming right up here, so...
I've got dishes to unload, laundry to fold. I wish I had games like that. I mean, I do have games like that.
I was going to say, you do. You've got entire collections. What are you talking about?
It's just not like even on my radar.
Oh, man. The Division, I stayed up with Garrett and Sean and Dev till 3 a.m. over the weekend playing The Division.
What? Wow. I haven't stayed up past midnight since I was probably...
We got started at like 10 too. Like we only started streaming at midnight, but we got started at like 10. So it was like a 5-6 hour game. We just kept playing. Awesome. It was fun.
I'm dating myself so bad right now.
That's what I've been up to. Steven, what are you doing?
Steven's turn.
Well, like Carol, I've been trying to get a little bit more active. School keeps me pretty inactive, so I've been using Ring Fit to try to get 30 minutes of working out every day.
It hurts.
Yeah.
I had to stop, man. It was just painful.
It hurts.
Really? Oh,
No, I have to build up my strength, and I have to condition myself on the bike first, because I went straight from doing absolutely nothing. My whole body's basically like rubber.
No, I mean, having played the game, I totally get it. I just think it's hilarious that the reaction is like, it's like Rabbids kind of. The reaction when this game came out, oh my God, We Fit, they're doing, what a waste of time. It's not even going to be hard. And then Kara was like, I
thought the same thing.
I got to do some push-ups before I get to Ring Fit. Like, I'm not ready.
It's painful. I mean, Brian's doing it too, and it's just he hardly ever like makes like any distress noises, but he's like,
It gets surprisingly difficult. I have to say I think it's a really good transition from less activity to Mario and Donnie's dying over here.
I'm 100% looping that. That's a GIF. That's happening.
I'm glad I came back for something.
Yep, got to give us our gifts. But yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Ring Fit, and I've been enjoying that a lot. I think it's been a great transition from less activity to more activity. My only real complaint is there's more RPG element than I expected, which normally I would be excited about. But when you're trying to do just 30 minutes a day, you're like, I just have 30 minutes to work out right now. Yeah, and then it's like, no, you got to craft the smoothie so you can heal yourself. You got to do these extra side quests to unlock clothing and stuff, and all these more traditional RPG elements come in. It gets a little frustrating because 10 minutes of your 30 minutes is spent housekeeping, putting your inventory together and taking care of other things. So it's good. I'm still really impressed with it, much better than I ever expected it would be, and it's been a good motivator for me to get active, so I've enjoyed that a lot. Outside of that, I finally finished Fire Emblem today, actually.
3 houses?
I've been sitting, 3 houses. I finished.
Which side?
I did Golden Deer.
Good.
Mm-hmm. So I've been sitting on the last stage for 2-3 weeks now, and just haven't been willing to sit down and do it. So
last stage is hard.
Yeah, I from what I've heard of the other ones, because I think each house has a different last stage. I think Claude's is different from the others.
Wow, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because Donnie, you made mention, I think last week with Garrett, that the last stage there were tons of beasts, like soldiers turning into beasts.
Mine was. They were coming from everywhere, dragons left and right, and all that. I didn't know that there were different stages at the end.
Yeah, there was none of that in Claude's. There was one dragon to start, and then one more dragon popped into the screen.
I wish I played your route.
As soon as you eliminate one of the enemies, then no more come out. So I think his might have been a little easier.
I had to kill like 12 of those things. They were everywhere.
Edelgard's route is the shortest, like Edelgard's pure route. Donnie went the church route, which is called Silver Snow, which is, for some reason, every single one except Edelgard's has like 6 more chapters than what hers is. So it's lengthier, but I think the end battles are a lot easier than Crimson Flower. Because Crimson Flower, on normal casual, and I was over leveled, took me 75 plus minutes.
Wow.
I mean, my final battle took like at least an hour. I was there for a bit.
I think it did take me about an hour, 20 minutes to do mine. And the funny thing is normally when I play, you get all those stat bonus items, increase your strength by 2, increase speed by 2, all that kind of stuff. And I usually just spam it on the main character. And I didn't do it this playthrough. And so I eliminated everyone else on the map except for the final boss. And I got up there and none of my units could do anything to him whatsoever. No. So I just sat there for 20 turns and had Byleth go into the inventory and just consume every single one of the stat boosting items that I had. Turns? And I went from being able to do like 1 damage to being able to do like 11 times 2 or something to that effect. And so then I went and beat him. But I did. I just sit there and consume item after item before I could beat him.
Wow.
That's unbelievable, dude.
Yeah. So it was fun.
I would have just restarted and given up.
Because I want to say, like, I died the first time on my final battle, and then I looked up, like, strategy. Because I was OP for most of my run. I grind a bit. Like, here, I do all the sides, like, at least all the battles. I don't do all of the chapter stuff, but I at least do all of the side battles. Yeah. And I got there, and I was like,
for the final is ridiculous.
I can't do anything. battles and dragons and ogres, and they're everywhere. It was like my final battle looked like Lord of the Rings. Like it was serious.
The maps are huge too.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It's a huge jump in difficulty.
It was fun. Normally I do the same thing, Donnie, where I do every single battle and I'm way over leveled. I play hard classic, and this one was pretty well balanced throughout the whole game. But I got a little burnt out after the time skip of doing the extra battles on off weeks, because to me the extra battles weren't as well thought out. The main battles, I think, overall were good. They lacked variety in the kind of completion that they required. But the bonus ones you could do on the weekends were very bland. So I got burnt out doing them. So for the last 3 or 4 months, I didn't bother doing it.
It was definitely like filler. I'd be very excited to hear what you think of the DLC. Because
and that's what I want to do now that I finally finished the route, is go get the DLC.
The DLC is anything but that. It's all different. Super varied.
I did start that too. I forgot about that. I've started it and I'm about halfway through. So
I don't think I know anybody that's finished it. It was like weird. Like I got all into it for all of the stuff, and it's
through it, dude. It's really difficult.
I know
it is. Like I'm playing it on normal casual again, and it's a completely different save file. So there's save files for the DLC, Steven, and then there's like just your regular save files. But what you do in the DLC will affect your play route and the ability to recruit those other people in your main play route.
Yeah. I'll have to pick one of the other houses and start a route that way, and then do the DLC and see what I can.
I'm excited to see what you guys think of the DLC. That's the thing, is like I beat it, and I wanted to talk about it like in detail, but nobody's.
I got to the point where Constance comes out in the sun, and I'm like, she is my favorite.
She's my favorite, right?
She's awesome.
I said I was like, where is the constant love? Where are all the Fire people?
Brian is just like, bless her heart. And
she's the best.
Like, I just want to give her Brian and I absolutely love her. He likes all 4 of the new characters. He thinks that they have a great dynamic.
It took 2 minutes. She started talking. I was like, favorite. That's it.
That's awesome.
She's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to try it. I don't know if I'll be able to until I finish, until I graduate at the end of April, because things are just going to ramp up for me. So I might hold off till then, but I'm excited to try it.
I loved the variety. There's a lot of different winning conditions and a lot of different maps.
I missed that a lot.
And they all look different. And I love that about the DLC. That's like my favorite thing about it, is they're all different. And the last 2 were tough.
Yeah, my favorite games were the Radiant games in the series. And I feel like some of the more recent games have backed away from the variety of winning conditions. And I think those were some of the best parts of Fire Emblem, is when you had to be a little bit more creative about how you solve the battle at hand.
My final battle,
a little bit more of a puzzle.
My final battle in DLC was just me and the other character. All the other units were gone.
Wow.
They all die?
Yeah.
You put them on classic? Jeez, no way. See, I get too attached to like.
There was like I said, it was hard, and it was a chance. Like my final battle, I won basically off of a chance. Like I did an attack, and 2 out of 4 times it wasn't doing anything, and that one it happened to do it, and I had nothing left. Like if it didn't hit, I was gonna have to start all over.
You know what that sounds like is the GBA Fire Emblem. I don't know if either of you ever played that one, but
Burning Blade.
No, the one with Hector and Lynn and Eliwood, I think it's just called Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah, no, hang on a minute.
The final boss on that one, oh my gosh, it's this big dragon that has like 200 HP or something absurd. You can't even see how much HP it has. It's literally question marks.
Yeah.
And it can pretty much one-shot you, and only the 3 main characters can do any damage, so you have to use all 3 of them. And and it's kind of what you were saying, Donnie. You just hope and pray that one of them gets a critical or just happens to miss an attack.
There's another battle.
Did not mess.
I won't spoil it for folks, but there's another battle in the DLC that you're kind of limited on which characters you can use. At least which characters you can use to attack certain other characters. That's why I say, like, it's all different and it's all varied. You gotta protect things, you gotta go retrieve keys, you gotta go unlock towers, you gotta take down silos.
That
like
sounds
all
awesome.
of the maps have their own different conditions, which I loved about it. That's the one thing that I wanted from the game.
Everything you've told me about it sounds exactly like what I wanted from Fire Emblem.
It is very much more old school Fire Emblem insofar as kind of like Awakening, but even pre-Awakening. Definitely like Game Boy Advance stuff.
And I
Yeah,
also like the fourth, the Ashen, whatever, the little town, right? The little, underground.
Underground.
Like, it's got a cool
Underground.
look. That was another thing that I was thinking about. Like, because it's not outside, you don't have the sunlight and all the realism, and it can kind of just be brown. It makes it look better because you don't have like those brick textures that look flat and not muddled.
Dimly lit.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it look better. I was like, this is a better fit for the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only other game I've been playing outside of that was Ori. I've been trying to get into Ori and the Blind Forest a little bit. Yeah. So it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
Fantastic game.
I'm getting used to the way that they implemented the save feature, like the Soul Link, where you have to, hold charge up your soul or whatever, then hold A and save.
You'd be lucky to hear
has
that the
been-
sequel has autosaves now.
Yes, I just read that the other day, and I was
my
very
gosh, that's
excited
awesome
to hear
nightmare.
that they were making that change, because I have quit a couple of times because I have just been forgetting to save, and I'm like, I do not want to do this again, which is funny because I loved Hollow Knight. I had no problem, repeating the same thing over and over when I died, but something about me forgetting to save, I was so frustrated that I forgot to
Yeah,
save that
no, I'm
like,
with
nope,
you.
I can't do it right now.
Yeah. No.
So
I get
uh,
that.
100%.
but it's really, really great. Like it a lot. So I'm hoping the sequel comes to Switch at some point, because I don't have a way to play it outside of that. But
The only thing that I can tell
We'll
you
see.
on that regard is their game studios director said that they're not interested in doing that anymore.
really,
Really?
I read an interview earlier this week that one of the developers said something to the effect of, "We really love the Switch. In fact, I've got one at the hotel right now, but I can't confirm or deny anything about it
Matt-
coming to Switch."
Matt Booty went on record after he's like their head of Xbox Game Studios. He went on record, I think, after E3, and they pressed him, or it may have been at the Game Awards. I'm not sure. Was that one of the big releases? I want to say maybe it was the Game Awards, because I want to say it was after they unveiled the Series X. And they talked about him like, hey, you're publishing all these games. You put Ori on Switch, you put Cuphead on Switch. And they were like, yeah, we're really excited to do that. But right now we're focused on keeping our software for our product. So,
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people are, I would never say never,
but it might be years down the line
5 or
before
6
we ever
years,
see
yeah.
it,
yeah.
which would be a bummer.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm playing Ori next month. I'm very excited. The new quality of life improvements are going to be way better. Ori, because of that
Isn't it on
saves.
PC though?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually it is, because I played Ori for the first time on PC.
Okay.
And I don't remember why. I think I was either into Steam or like maybe it came early. I don't remember why, but I bought it on Steam for whatever reason and played it on Steam first. And then the definitive edition came to Xbox, and then I played it there, and then I got the Switch version.
I'd probably just plug in
You've
my
got to
Switch
get Ori.
controller
The
and-
thing with
yeah.
Ori, though, the thing that I always tell folks with Ori is Ori's not like a pick up and play game that you kind of hang out with. Like, when you want to play Ori, you need to commit to playing Ori. Because like the game doesn't get good until it starts to open up, and if you're not constantly like playing it, you'll forget kind of where everything is.
Yeah.
It's very much that game. Like, you kind of need to live Ori. I think that was the thing that the Switch let me do, because I never beat it on Xbox because I never kept playing it. Like,
Yeah.
I would go and play another game and come back and be all disoriented and not know how to do anything. And I think that was the thing that Switch let me do, is I kind of kept playing it every night, on my Switch, and that's what let me beat it. And just an amazing game. Everybody should play it. Everybody should own the soundtrack. Ori's movement,
the
I've always
soundtrack
loved.
is gorgeous.
It's fantastic. All right, going a little long, so let's see here. Boy, I didn't even ask for questions this week because we've had questions for weeks after the direct and everything. We've got, This one comes from Matt. What's one game you initially really liked or disliked that you've changed your mind on as time has passed and more games have arrived? I hated ARMS when it was released. I think I wanted the Switch launch to have more better games, but I recently started playing it again with my kids, and I gotta say, we've had a lot of fun. Do you ever think we'll see an ARMS 2?
I don't think so, but I can't think in recent memory of anything that I liked and or disliked.
I'm glad you're here, but you're not gonna like what I have to say.
Little Dragons Cafe was a couple years ago, and that was one that I was really into, and I played it all the way through, and I beat it. And then as I looked back on it, I was like, man, what a colossal waste of time. I'm serious. It was just sorry. My sleepiness was getting to me, and it was just kind of being when I get sleepy and when I get hungry, I get really, really, really just kind of drowned out Debbie Downer.
No, that was just it was such a slam. You're like, I played all this thing, and what a waste. I never wanted. And it's like, why didn't you realize that when you were playing it?
Well, as I put through it, I was just like, I wanted it to be like a Bakumono game because it was by the Bakumono creator, and it wasn't anything close to that. It was literally doing chores. It was gathering food, cooking, serving people at tables, and you just so happened to be raising a dragon in the middle of it. And I was so excited about the dragon raising part that I guess I wasn't paying attention to the fact that it was Adult Simulator, the game.
I gotcha.
I don't know.
I don't have anything that I feel as strongly about as yours. But having been replaying somewhat casually Mario Odyssey, I definitely think I took a harder slant on that game than I wanted to, or than I think I feel. I'm not going to change like my overall thoughts on the game. I still think I'm right. But at the same time, I do think I think I like dug my foot in a little hard in the sand just because of the, the zeitgeist, surrounding the game, the conversation. Right. Likewise, I don't think I like Xenoblade 2 as much as I thought I did when I first played it.
Man, let's just...
I'm with you on that one, Donnie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I recently booted it up.
To play Xeno Definitive Edition then.
I've kind of like in this month period, just kind of like hanging out for these new games to release. I booted it up like a couple weeks ago. And I started playing again and stuff. And I just remember because I haven't played it in like at least a year, probably more. And I just got back in and I saw like the way that they did that stupid map where they have like the different layers and you got different tabs. And I was just like, you know what? This game isn't as good as I remember it being. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm definitely not saying what a colossal waste of time I put into it. I'm just saying that I don't think it's as good as I thought it was when I played it. And it's interesting like how time and perspective, like as a catalog starts to build out, kind of how you re-rank and reorder kind of the games that you think about. Because I mean, I think about like other games, like I was saying, I've said this on other podcasts on PSVG past week, like the more I get away from it and play other things, the more I appreciate Far Cry 5. I think I have that same appreciation for like Mario Rabbids and like Starlink. I put a lot of time in those games. I was like, man, those games are pretty fun. Like, especially like Mario Rabbids, like,
Mario Rabbids is great.
And I know a lot of people are predicting it for this year. And I mean, we had that survey that I've talked about quite a bit. I mean, I think that's spot on that we should be seeing a sequel for that. But even thinking about it, it's like, man, that game was way better than I think we ever anticipated it. And now that we've had some time away from it, it's like now I kind of like, yeah, I really want another one.
Yeah,
it's really good. So. Yeah,
I'd agree with you, Donnie, that I really wanted to like Xenoblade 2. I'm sorry, Kara's clutching her Xenoblade 2 Pro Controller.
We didn't say it was awful.
I do think it is a good game. I don't think
that, okay.
Like there are some flaws in it, like any game. I just personally really, really wanted to like it, but the more I played it, the less I liked it. I just found myself frustrated by menus or maps or combat. And
look at my baby girls.
Hey, I'm playing Shantae. I completely forgot to mention that. You know why I haven't played my Switch so much?
I don't want
Apple
you to
Arcade, right? Your new.
I got the arcade with Daniel, and I'm through 2 bosses. I've got 2 genies and or 2 little power ups, and it's Caroline. It's great. Like the card mechanic is so cool. I didn't think I'd ever like it when they announced it. I was like, oh no.
Is it kind of like
Summer?
Is the card mechanic kind of like Chain of Memories, the Kingdom Hearts game that came out a while ago?
You wouldn't know.
Okay,
what you're
Kara, would you know?
You get these you get little booster skills as you
No, it was GBA.
Wait, has it been that long?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dream Drop Distance was 3DS. That's great.
As you beat enemies, sometimes they drop cards, and if you get enough cards, you get like little boosters that you can equip, kind of alter and buff Shantae's abilities.
So it's more like an inventory kind of thing where you build up
but it's something else to do and little customization without.
Is there still like the shampoo for the hair or the hair cream for like the upgrade on the hair whip and stuff, or is that all card based now?
I haven't got that far yet. I've only through the second. I've gotten the second ability. To be honest with you,
collecting hearts.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Since I left, like the little main hub, I haven't come back. I've just been like you go. I don't want to spoil it. You go down beneath the surface, and I've just been down there.
Okay.
I haven't come back. Like I could have, and
Yeah,
like
I
I
don't-
could have went left, and
I-
instead of going left, I just went right. I was like, I'm gonna keep
I'm
going.
gonna go into it fresh. I need to find somebody that's going to PAX, like ASAP.
Bad bits there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, go message him. He's there.
Good.
Yeah, so I mean, I completely forgot that in the thing, because what I wanted to say was, and not that I want to slam Nintendo, but I think it's very timely. We've talked a lot about this Animal Crossing and all this. Do you know this Apple Arcade has 100% automatic cloud saves that I can hop from my TV and pick up my
it's
iPad
Wow.
and press a button and keep playing like nothing else has happened.
If you need an iPhone?
when the damn iPad can do it, and the little box of my TV can do it, and everybody's like, "Well, let's not hold Nintendo to some high standards." Like, okay, like this is getting a little ridiculous, guys.
Yeah.
Like it's automatic. I just start the game, and it's like, "Here's where you left off." I'm like, amazing! Oh, it's so good. And Caroline, I'm playing this game. It's called RPG Golf that I bought
seen
for
RPG Golf.
$3.99. It's
Yeah.
It's like Golf Story. You go out and the
I've seen it.
guy says, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this, hand your golf club.
Nice.
That's so good.
You walk out to the tee, you hit your ball, and then as you walk to your ball, you have all these little enemies that run around, and you have to fight them in real time, like button masher, like 2D Zelda. And
Like
you earn,
Golf Club?
yeah, and you earn experience, and you can
Yes.
get potions, and you got to go into the mine to like get around to come back out the other side to get to the next hole. There's a golf cart, you got to find a key. There's stuff, man. Like I'm
what I
digging it.
Cool.
Aspire mini golf to be.
Oh, it's so good. It's real good. I paid
Alright.
$2.99 for it, and I was like, yeah, buying all this Apple stuff was worth
Is
it
that on
for this
iPhone?
$2 game.
Yeah.
If it's on
Yeah.
iPad, it should be.
Yep, it's so good.
Man.
And a little controller. Just sync my controller to it. It's so good.
That's
Sorry
awesome.
for the tangent.
Nope.
But I was
to,
thinking,
to fit.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was tangenting. Finish your thought.
I was going to say, it's like, I was sitting here looking at the notes, and I was like, I know I've played a lot of games. And I was like, but it didn't dawn on me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm playing this non-console game. That's why I didn't write them down. All right, we have one more question that I want to get to, just because we haven't done questions in so long. Sorry, the episode's too long. Steven, do you need to go? You okay?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. I got one more, and I wanted to do this one because that was a great question when they asked me. Kaboski, I'm going to get your question next week, but this one came in like a month ago. Take a Nintendo IP and pitch me your best spin-off. That one comes in from Brendan. I love this question. I have one, but I will let somebody else go if they have one.
I might need a minute to think about that.
All right. Caroline, listen to me here.
I want an Animal Crossing farm game. I just want an Animal Crossing farming game.
Isn't that
So you
what
want
Animal Crossing
Stardew
is?
Cross Animal
No,
Crossing.
like one where you could
I know.
with all of the sectors like
Yeah.
marry a villager. I'm not a furry, but I'm just saying have that.
She
So,
said
so yeah, you want Stardew Cross Animal Crossing.
She
then.
does.
Yes.
She does, but it was hilarious. She goes, "I want an Animal Crossing farming game." She goes, "No, farming.
then-
like
and then
all the
marry
farming."
people.
And then that she's like, like marry the farmer. It's like, what?
No, because animal farming, Harvest Moon, Stardew games, there's a marriage aspect to it. I'm not a furry, but you would obviously have to marry a
But you didn't say anything about crops or adventures
Sorry,
or anything.
You said separate things and
Right.
You
marry.
said I want an
Those were your
Animal
words.
Crossing
This is
game
where Brian
you get to
laughs at
marry
me.
people.
This is where Brian laughs at me because in my mind I segue from thing to thing, but I don't verbalize. So I just say one thing, but shoot all the way over to the other thought.
To what you really want. Like, no, we get you.
I'm not a furry.
You want more husbands? We understand.
I mean, I think you could be. I don't know. I mean, it's just.
Gosh, no, man.
I do want, I'm going to piggyback off of yours a little bit. I would really like a 3D Animal Crossing game. I don't know, like a walk around. Like I'm thinking like 3D is not the right word.
Okay, you're talking about not top down look.
Yeah, but like adventure, like world game, like walk
camera.
around, camera behind the character. Like Mario-esque kind of think, like open Mario level kind of. That would be fun. All right, Heroes Mine. I've had those for a long time. I've actually probably bitched on Shack before because I really believe in this idea. I want a 2D platforming Zelda game that's like
Zelda
Paper
2.
Mario. In the sense that like Link Between Worlds, I want all of the puzzles and everything to be able to where you can like stick to the walls and go upside down and like everything kind of be based off of that. But it's very much 2D Zelda, get to the end of the level, do all the Zelda things in between, like, and I want it to be level based. I want an overworld and everything. I want an overworld you can walk around in, go to the different levels, pick the different caves, do the dungeons.
I can see that.
You gotta get so many shields or runes or whatever you want to pendants before you can unlock the dungeon. That's kind of what I've always thought that makes, ever since I saw Link Between Worlds, that's kind of what I've always wanted. I was like, man, that makes too much sense. Because like the way that Zelda builds puzzles with like switches and stuff like that, that makes for that whole 2D cross-plane type stuff that fits so incredibly well. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The other one that I have is very similar, a 2D Splatoon level.
Literally, you took the words out of my mouth.
Oh, really? Well, then go.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, I was talking earlier. I love Mega Man X and 2D side scrollers like that, and I think it would be pretty easy and fun to take Splatoon, make it 2D side scroller, and you do just level based, where at the end you have some sort of boss you have to fight, and like Mega Man, you can get some sort of weapon or ability from beating that boss, and then on the next stage you can use that new weapon or that new ability to help. The enemies might have a certain weakness or something like that. I think it's pretty easy, natural, and I think it would be a lot of fun.
I agree, and for all those reasons, and I just add that I think the ink mechanic of being able to swim and things that you paint, that adds
you could
much,
add some sweet puzzle stuff to it.
That adds so much verticality and things to that type of game that I think it would be.
Platforming,
it'd be really, really good. So, anything else, guys, before we wrap it up here?
Yeah. I was just going to officially answer Josh's question, too, about a game that I...
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say...
what did we do? Did you... I showed
we got
I showed pens and Donnie said, Shantae! And then we...
no, I was just going to say that for me, it was Splatoon, actually. I did not think that I was going to enjoy Splatoon at all. Whenever I looked at it, trailers, things like that, it just... No, it wasn't for me. And when the Switch came out and all we had initially was like Breath of the Wild and Splatoon, I was like, I want something else. Like Breath of the Wild will tide me over forever, but I still wanted something else to play. So I went ahead and picked it up just to try it, and it won me over very quickly. So that was a game that I didn't think I would like at all, that I ended up being a real favorite of mine.
ARMS 2?
Yeah, ARMS 2 as well. I mean,
do you think we'll get ARMS 2?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Oh no,
I think ARMS was fun and a great idea, but I don't think it was a big enough commercial success for them to release a second one.
It sold pretty well.
I could see it kind of bundled into some other kind of game.
That's
maybe a fighting type game where there's a variety of different battles, and as part of that you have ARMS type battles, but I would be surprised to see ARMS 2.
ARMS and 1-2 Switch and those kinds of games were just there to fill game space and
demonstrations.
Well, and show off what the Switch could do too.
Yeah, exactly.
Demonstrations. It was so funny that they went so far non-Wii U, but the early Switch was still so like rooted in Wii. They were so excited about Joy-Cons and show you what they could do with it, and then it was like they released Breath of the Wild, and like apparently somebody got the drift. They're like, nobody cares.
Yeah, I'd say outside of Ring Fit, I don't think I used the Joy-Cons for anything besides regular play.
And they're like, okay, let's just put out a Mario game and let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that will do it for us this week here at the Nintendo Shack, and we'll catch you next week, Koopalings. Good night.
Au revoir. Bye.
Good night.